it's your boy Rico.
And Sam, and this week we're going to talk about visibility. So basically, we all know that Trans Day of Visibility was last week, and so we just kind of wanted to do a video to talk about what that means. Rico and I are both visible trans people, and basically what that means is that we are openly trans in our lives, so we don't try to hide the fact that we're trans men. We are more than willing to talk about it and to express what that means to people. Like for me, I'm out at work, I'm out in my social life, like I tell people like, you know, what it means to be a trans person, like the good times, the bad times, blah 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 blah, like just everything about being trans. What does visibility mean to you?
To me, I'll just go back to when I made that post on TDOV on our Instagram. Of course, I'm visible for those that are trans, but I'm also visible for those that don't even know what trans is, or those that are like intimidated by the whole topic of it, because representation is everything, visibility is everything.
Yeah,
it's a way to learn about trans people without being scared of like a backlash. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not like forcing people to be out and talkative about being trans, but those that are comfortable about it, talking about it, that makes people that are not trans comfortable around you. Do you know what I mean? And just learning that we are just like everyone else and we're not scary. I'm also visible for like the parents or the siblings or the daughters and the sons that their relative just came out as trans, and they don't know what that means. I'm visible for them, so they hopefully have an idea of what that means. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that I've chosen to be visible because I think that because I'm safe enough to be visible, I'm safe enough to be out as a trans person in my life. I think it is my job to educate. Whether or not I really feel like it all the time, it is my job to educate those who do not understand what being trans means and don't understand us. It's my job to teach them about what it is right and what is okay to say to a trans person or to ask a trans person or how to act around a trans person.
Yeah, those are just his feelings. It's not any trans person's job to educate. I just want to stress that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's definitely to each their own. But I've chosen to be visible so that way I can provide that education and I can provide that knowledge to people that need to learn in order to make the world a safer place for trans people. I feel like if people stay ignorant, if people don't learn, then we can't improve. Like the world won't improve for trans people.
Yeah. So aside from cis people, I'm visible for those that do want to medically transition, like taking hormones, but they haven't. I want to be visible to show that like I still have a long journey ahead of me with what I want to personally do with my body and everything. But like I want to be visible for those that want something to look forward to. Do you know what I mean? Like oh, this could be me. I've seen Rico glow up from pre-T to where he is now. Like that did it for me when I was pre-T. Like looking at pictures of like people a year on testosterone, I'm like shook, and it's like that kept me going. So it's like, oh my god, that could be me. You know what I mean? I want to stick around. You know what I mean? Because that could be me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that it's been great for us to like be able to put our transitions into the public eye, so that like people do have things to look forward to, and to know that like it does, like we've been there where we're pre-T and we feel shitty about ourselves, we feel shitty about our bodies and our lives and whatever it is. Like we've been there, and it like, I mean, obviously, like Rico and I do have a long journey ahead of us, but we're happy.
Yeah,
and, we're getting to where we want to be, and we're getting more and more comfortable in our bodies every day. And so it is important to be visible for those that are pre-transition, just so they can understand that it does get better and it does improve, and they do have something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've said, I'm pretty much visible in all aspects of my life. My family knows, my friends know, my jobs know for the most part that I'm trans, and I basically, like, how I go about being visible is just bringing it up casually, like in conversations, like whoever I'm talking to, like if it applies, I will talk to them about like how a certain situation relates to me because I'm trans, or I'll just bring up like certain things that I think are really cool that are happening to me, or certain things that I think are shitty that are happening to me, based on what's going on, just like trying to give them some kind of perspective into my life as a trans person. And that's how I stay visible. You know, I just talk about it with whoever is willing to listen and whoever wants to learn and understand. Like I just try to be as vocal as I can. Obviously, we're visible by making this YouTube channel, posting on Instagram, posting on our Facebook pages. You know, we just try to get the word out there in as many different ways as we can, just so people have different ways of seeing it. You know, different ways to get that information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, how I'm visible is pretty much just with Tea Time with this YouTube channel. Of course, my circle of friends, everyone knows, of course, and that's usually who I stick around. So it's not like I'm constantly coming out. And I'm sure most of you watching, if you're trans, it gets exhausting. You don't want to always out yourself. But it doesn't mean, at least personally, it doesn't mean I'm ashamed. It's just like there's many more facets to me than just being trans.
Yeah.
But this YouTube channel, if something happens and like I know it's not right, I sense transphobia, of course I'll stand up. That's how you can be visible. I came out to my mom recently, kind of not too long ago ish. Oh my god, no, it's been like last months. Summer. Woo! Yeah. Okay, yeah, my mom is just like run-of-the-mill, right-winged, anti-everything, and the reason I finally came out to her as trans, I was waiting for the right time. I'm like, Rico, I know something's going to happen. It's going to be like, this is the right time. And it's when Trump said that he wanted to ban all trans people from being in the military. And at that point, I was like, okay, my mom was a Trump supporter. So I wanted her to realize how close to home Trump's actions are hitting. And I wanted her to be like, oh my God, this is affecting my kid. You know what I mean? Like, thinking like my mom, oh, I don't know trans people, I think they're weird, I don't know. But for me to come out, it'll make her think twice and be like, oh, trans people are normal people because my kid is normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what is trans? And me coming out to her, that's what she did. She looked up what trans meant and all that stuff. So that was another way of me being visible, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And there are instances where you can't be visible or don't want to be. That's totally okay.
Yeah, so I mean, there are people that are visible, and there are also people that are stealth. And basically, what stealth means is that you pass as whatever gender you're trying to identify as, or whatever gender you do identify as, and people don't question your gender identity. People don't question your gender because you do pass well enough. And those people can choose to become stealth, which means that they do not disclose their gender, or they do not disclose their trans, like the fact that they are trans. And that's okay too. That it's completely valid to be a stealth trans person. It's all about whether or not you feel safe, or whether you're comfortable, or whether or not you just want to be. Like, even if you are safe and you are comfortable and and your identity, you don't have to be visible if that's not your choice. Like,
yeah. Personally, yeah. I hate the word stealth.
No, I mean, same. But
you do too, yeah, because it feels like we're like undercover or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same. I also hate the word passing because it's like something like.
That's why I always use quotes.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we don't really support it, but I don't know what's a better term for stealth. Not out? No. Just living your life? Like, yeah. God. We're not always open
just
books.
Living as men or as women or as non-binary people, like, yeah, you just don't have to disclose it. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Yeah. So I'll word it like, times I'm stealth. I'm going to say not out, not visible, would be like at work. Lately, the past couple jobs, I have not come out as trans to anyone because, past jobs were really bad circumstances. The last job I was at as trans, I came out at that job, so no one knew I was trans. They thought I was a female for a few months, and then I came out. So, people saw me pre-T, they viewed me a certain way, then I came out, and then, I was transitioning, so everyone was shook. It was just a bad time. So after that job, I was just like, you know what? There's many facets to me. I don't have to come out. It's exhausting. I'm here to make money. I'm scared that me being out would, mess up the fact that, I might not have a job for a minute. So I just chose to not come out to anyone, and it's been peaceful. And it's also been nice. It's like a sigh of relief sometimes. Like, people read me as a man and don't question it. It's just like relaxing, you know.
Yeah.
For once, you don't have to like have these thoughts in the back of your head because they don't know any better otherwise, you know.
Yeah, so I just started a new job like 3 months ago, and it's actually the first job where no one has figured it out that I'm trans, and it has been really nice. Like, you know, before, I've always been open and honest at my jobs. Like, I talk about being trans at almost all of my jobs because, you know, when I didn't pass fully, you know, people could tell, you know, like could tell that I was somewhere in between, or you know, whatever. And this is the first job that I've had where no one's really questioned it, and so I've only picked like maybe a handful, like 5 people who I trust and who I've said, hey, don't tell anybody else. I will tell them when I'm ready. And somehow it hasn't gotten out yet, and that's awesome. But it makes me feel really comfortable and safe to know that I don't have to come out if I don't want to, and I can choose to come out to who I want to. And if you have that kind of work environment, awesome. That's great. But yeah, it's just been really nice that like I can still be visible to who I choose to be visible to, but I don't have to worry about my safety or like my reputation or whatever at this job because of my trans identity.
Yeah. And it also goes the other way around. Those that haven't started to yet, and they don't want to be visible because it could be dangerous. You know what I mean? If you are a trans man, but you're constantly read by society as female, it's totally understandable that you can't always be visible as much as you want. You know what I mean? For safety reasons, it doesn't validate you at all. Like the shirt says, visible for those who can't be. For whatever reason, it's okay. You don't always have to be visible. You don't. Not everyone, just because you're trans, you don't have to be the poster boy for being a trans man. Do you know what I mean?
There's plenty of us out there.
Yeah, there's
thousands of T-boys that want to be visible and want to be poster boys.
Yeah, there's no. Hopefully, there's no pressure for you, for every. If you're watching this, I hope you don't feel pressured to like be the token trans person in your friends' lives. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to, but if you're willing to, by all means, visibility is important.
Definitely.
You know? So that does it for visibility. Next week we are doing W and we are doing washrooms. Yeah, we kind of cheated, whatever. If you're Canadian, you get it.
Yeah.
Washrooms, restrooms, whatever. So we're going to talk about our experiences using both, you know, female, male restrooms or genderless bathrooms. How to navigate certain situations if you're uncomfortable, what to do.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
We know that it can be intimidating, like, especially
Absolutely.
when you first start transitioning, like, okay, well, what bathroom do I use? Like, what bathroom will I get less shit for using? Like,
Yeah.
so we're definitely going to touch on all of that and, like, how we started using the men's room and transitioned out of using females' room to men's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if majority of society views us as men already, it's still, I don't know about you, it's still nerve-wracking, especially new environments. You don't know the bathroom situation, all that fun stuff, so.
But yeah, we'll touch on that next week.
Yes, definitely. So, you know what to do. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.